Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota Pit League Season number 3 group stages. We got a match here between Team Tinker and Cloud9, one of our biggest matches to date here for the group stages. And guys, I'm super excited. A 2-game series now getting underway with the draft here between these two mostly European squads. Although there's been some word about Team Tinker arriving in North America to boot camp in Toronto. Very excited to see what they could do here in the next couple of weeks. Can they get up there with the top teams? Can they perform well in Dota Pit? We'll find out that and more today as they face up against Cloud9. Surely the favorites. Should be a good series, but again, I am not alone. As always, I'm joined by our production crew, Pim Muckle producing. We got Mott Pax on stats, and of course, Trout. How the hell are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I am pretty excited to see this in the new, I should say, recent inception of the new roster of Team Tinker. I've seen them play a little bit, but we'll see. It's very early on for them. We'll see if they can get things together.
Yeah, this is, by the way, a Group A matchup, and like you said, very new roster. Black just coming over, just getting back from China to play with Team Tinker. Fairly new roster as well. HighGroundTV joining, Way2 as well coming in to help out, which Bulba's no stranger with playing with him. But Cloud9, they've been around for a while. At least this incarnation since DAC, they've been playing very well. They're 4-2 currently in Group A, so they're at the top of Group A as it stands right now, and they look to continue their dominance as they grab the Vengeful Spirit, the Drow Ranger. No surprise, Envy picks up the Drow Ranger for himself, more than likely. But on the other side, Team Tinker, they go with the Clockwork, they go with the Shadow Fiend. Actually, I want to ask you, as far as roles go, does Bulba still play the offlane for Team Tinker, or is that someone else's role?
Yeah, he does.
Okay, so
Bulba plays offlane, Black will play either mid or carry, or mid or safe lane, I should say. And then the two supports being Way2 and HighGroundTV. Which, by the way, it's now HighGroundTV drafting, which I think is kind of one interesting thing to note. It was almost always Way2 drafting for them, at least in the last month or two. And I actually thought the drafts were fine, so I guess they really want to change something up, but it's not that big of a deal. Most teams draft together anyway, so just one thing to note.
Yep. And Clockwork for Bulba is his probably standout hero. Bulba has actually played a lot of roles. You go back to TI2, he had that embarrassing series against IG when he was playing for EG where he got dominated by Ferrari 430. So he played mid then transitioned as a Liquid player towards the offlane, and the famous Liquid are doing it Clockwork play, which I'm sure everyone remembers. God, that was such a great time to be at TI. And, well, he's going to have it again this game. So we'll see if he can have some ridiculous hook shots, hopefully some really good initiations. Probably give Koikfo up the Shadow Fiend, no surprise there. They like to do, I think they've run like Shadow Fiend and Anti-Mage as Black is like that is his hero. Black can play a lot of decent farming heroes, but Anti-Mage seems to be the go-to if they have room to work with and if all the cards are right. So we'll see how it turns out with the draft for now. And they also banned the Visage, by the way, which I find very important against this Drow lineup.
Yeah, they could ban the Visage. There's two ways to go about it. They can ban Visage, or they can just get heroes that are good against the Visage birds. Like Axe, like Bristleback is very good against those birds, but they chose to just get rid of it altogether. There's another Drow Ranger lineup ban with the Puck. That's another favorite for most teams when they pick the Drow, because it's already a decent hero in general. It's a pretty good mid laner, but it just makes him that much better of a mid laner, and it makes it so we can actually probably pressure out the Shadow Fiend and maybe have a chance to win that matchup. There's a chance he could go offlane too, but anyway, they banned out the Puck, they banned out the Visage. You're mentioning the Clockwork, and I think Envy has done his homework as far as knowing what Team Tinker like and knowing what their players like to play. I know that Bulba, he's obsessed with Broodmother, the disgusting player that he is. He's obsessed with Broodmother and picks it every chance he can get. So that was first banned out. This is why we're seeing a first ban Broodmother. You never see this.
Yeah.
So one thing I should probably note about that. And also the Quap is banned out in the 4th position, even though they picked a Shadow Fiend. I think they realized that when they watched games of Team Tinker, and the games where Team Tinker was, I think, a little bit more successful than not was when Black was playing Quap. And so they banned that out for them. Bane's going to be the other support here picked up for Cloud9.
I'm a big fan of the Bane. Really good base damage. It also increased from the Drow Ranger aura. Has very solid lockdown, especially against something like a Shadow Fiend. Just nightmare him, get him out of the fight. And it's a good point you made about the Queen of Pain. We see more and more teams, especially teams like Cloud9, for example. Envy loves playing the co-op in the safe lane. Black, obviously, like you mentioned, playing in the safe lane. So more and more teams figuring out that Queen of Pain safe lane is pretty solid. So just something to keep in mind. So far for Cloud9, 3 ranged heroes. They have Winged Tear for armor reduction. The Venge can also pick up a medallion. And the right click they have is absolutely outstanding. I'm a big fan of their draft thus far. Batrider is banned out by Tinker, and anytime you are up against Cloud9, getting rid of Batrider I think should be one of your top priorities, as Bone7 plays a disgusting Batrider, as I'm sure many people know. So that's a pretty solid ban for Team Tinker. They have 39 seconds left in their reserve time. They could go for another support. They could grab that safe laner for Black like we talked about. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Cloud9 want as their mid laner too. I mean, Invoker's also a popular pickup with the Drow Ranger lineup when Puck isn't available. There's also I've seen a lot of Drow Ranger lineups too, where like say their offlaner's Faceless Void, where it's not of course it's not a ranged hero, so it doesn't benefit from the extra damage that the precision aura provides. But it's one of the heroes that can still keep heroes in place, because what you find when you try to run these 5 ranged Drow Ranger lineups is you lack a lot of initiation, because ranged heroes don't have the best initiation.
Yeah.
In this case, Venge is okay, but you're going to hit a very slow level 16 and probably even a slow level 11 unless things are going very well. So that's the one problem with Drow Ranger lineups, is they have a lot of pushing potential. They have very good lane presence and lane power and just right-click damage, but they lack initiation.
Yeah.
And so it's just one thing to think about if they wanted to go for that route. That's why Puck actually is one of the more popular heroes with this strat, but that's smartly banned out from Team Tinker.
I'm a big fan of the one melee core initiator, like a Brewmaster, like the Void you talked about. Like one tanky initiator to get in front and to do all the work, whereas, you know, some teams just go for all ranged heroes, and Cloud9 seem to be doing the same thing. Maybe sending that Lina mid and coming out for Cloud9. I was going to suggest maybe a Wind Ranger, because that's very common with the Drow Ranger, but Lina works just as well. Or, no, yeah, that's probably Lina mid, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Lina mid, and it's already a good hero against Shadow Fiend. It's one of the few that can actually win the lane against Shadow Fiend. I think it's like Lina, Sniper can win, Razor can win, and that's about it that comes at least at the top of my head. There might be one or two more, but maybe Quap. But Quap is relatively even now after the Shadow Ray, the Raze buff. So Lina is going to have I think a pretty good time mid.
Yeah, this is going to be... The thing about Lina mid, though, is that you get off to such a hot start, but you have to snowball, especially with this lineup. This lineup is all about maybe finishing the game, 30 minutes. You don't want it to go too long, because Drow Ranger late game might get destroyed by this Slark played by Black, and the Shadow Fiend especially as well, who can get back into it with stacks, as we've talked about before. So I think for Cloud9, the most important thing is to snowball. There is that Wind Ranger ban, by the way, which is not a super big surprise, I think, for anybody because of the draft that Cloud9 have. The question is, what do they put in the offlane? Do they go for that tanky initiator, or do they go for just another ranged hero? And if so, what ranged hero is available that could get put in the offlane? You know, there's a lot of options here for Cloud9. For Team Tinker, they got to get their next support. What is it going to be? We'll have to wait and see.
They have a lot of options. Sand King is a very popular one with Skywrath. I'm just thinking off the top of my head because we only have 2 seconds left, and it's going to be an Enigma. Okay, Enigma I think for way too sexy. They really like running the Enigma, and I mean for good reason. It's a very strong hero in this metagame. But yeah, all right, Cloud9, they got a whole 2 minutes to think about what they want for the offlane. If they still want to go for the ranged hero setup, there's not many options that can be viable in the offlane. They pretty much banned out everything they could. The Bat, the Puck, the Wind Ranger. I'm still on board with maybe some kind of melee initiation or any kind of better initiation for them. So Void, Centaur, even I know they like Legion Commander for Bone7 a lot.
Yep.
So
Yep.
We'll see. But they have a lot of time to think about this.
They do. And guys, this is just game number 1. We're just getting our way to the draft now, obviously. 2 games on tap today, this one and then the next one, obviously. I believe we have EG versus, I want to say, Cloud9 or Tinker tomorrow. I can't quite remember. We'll see. I'll look it up in the meantime. But yeah, this last pick is going to be very interesting. I have a feeling it's going to be a melee initiator. I've been wrong before, but I just don't see what hero they put in the offlane that's a ranged hero. I don't think they're like that committed to 5 ranged heroes that they're going to sacrifice their draft because of it.
It's EG Team Tinker tomorrow.
Thank you. Nice run. That's quite the game actually as well.
Yeah, that'll be fun to watch too.
Yep.
But yeah, Cloud9 got a ton of time to think about this, so I really like to see the Bane pick up too. Like, it's a hero that you don't see much anymore, but like, he's just got so many things going for him. The only thing he doesn't have going for him is there's usually just so many different ways to cancel your spells, and in particular your Fiend script, especially with ES being as popular as he is right now in the metagame. It's one of the best ways to cancel with that long-range Fisher. But he's amazing in lane. Like, he's got one of the highest base attack. Oh, they go with a sniper.
Oh,
so it's going to be an off-lane Lina, actually. So sniper for Fata.
This is they pick another hero that's very, very solid up against the Shadow Fiend in that matchup.
It is.
It's a bit close. Is it? I'd say maybe it's a bit closer of a matchup than Lina, or would you say Sniper is better than Lina against Shadow Fiend in this situation?
It's relatively close. It just comes down to the player, I think. I think Sniper is better because any kind of misstep, you'll just take too much damage from the shrapnel. So I think Sniper's a safer bet to put him in mid. Lina, you kind of have to. I mean, you have to spam out, of course, but to actually kill the Shadow Fiend, you have to be a little bit, cheeky with your placement of your LSAs and whatnot. But I mean, this is kind of good. I'm wondering if they're going to just go aggro trialing with this and pressure the Enigma, or just put Lina. Maybe they go dual lanes. Maybe they put Lina Bane top and Venge Drow bottom or something like that. That would actually be quite effective.
Because there's an Enigma, and I think they can get away with that as well. It's not like they're going to get, aggro tri-lane against. I think if they could get away with dual lanes, absolutely for Cloud9 because of the Enigma, which is a bit of a greedy pick, but we'll see how it turns out. This war German is being spoken here.
Wait, let me try, Pip. How are you all doing on this evening, or this late hour? Right?
That's actually pretty good.
I know a small bit of German. Is Wie geht es dir? How are you?
Yeah.
And then he's asking Fata, I believe.
Wie geht es euch zu dieser späten Stunde?
That's pretty good, actually, yeah. I'm impressed, Ralph.
I try. I'm trying. Slowly. My sentence structure is totally messed, like I've said, but anyway.
I remember like a few words and phrases in German, like the basic like basic German is all I remember, and that's it. It's unfortunate.
Like ich bin Mott.
Yeah. Ich habe Mott. Boom.
You have Mott? What?
Ich haben, isn't that no, ich heiße, isn't it?
Scheisse, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, I told you, man, I'm losing. All right, I'm not trying to speak German anymore. That's it, I'm done. All right, well, we're into the game, and for now, looks like both teams heading towards the top jungle, the top rune spot. That bounty rune, pretty important. And then Envy going with the classic 3-circlet build. He's got the precision art level 1. Interesting. He'll probably get those 3 Wraith Bands, 2 Wraith Bands, and maybe Tequila as well. Just get as much damage pumped up as possible. Already a shrapnel going through. They want to scout out. They see Way2 up in the high ground, I believe. Misery might chase him down. Boat 7's nearby as well. He gets a full null tally. Skywrath uses an arcane blast. Pushes them back momentarily, but just a lot of... They're just staring at each other. They're saying, get out of our jungle, please leave. Looks like they will get out. And perhaps C9 do get this top rune spot. And I don't know if Tinker try to contest this. Might be a tough... yeah, it looks like they're just going to give up the top bounty rune. And then bottom bounty rune is... And they might get both bounty runes for Cloud9. They have to send people down here. Looks like they might just give up the bounties. Tinker.
That's one drawback when you're when you're running a jungler, is usually you can secure both bounties because you're just not as strong as the enemy team when you're running a jungler. They usually don't have any good spells. And if you would level up that Malefice level 1, you are doomed, so you don't want to do that.
And then all of a sudden your jungle experience becomes pretty horrible.
Yeah. But they only ward 1 camp, so actually Team Tinker did a pretty good job by fending them off, at least, so they didn't ward all of Enigma's camps. And Enigma's pretty good with working with only 1 or 2 camps. He can still recover and find his farm. As long as he's killing the camps and killing them before they respawn or killing them outside of the spawn area, I think he'll be fine. So we'll have to make sure that Way2 can do that. It's quite important when you have only 2 camps to work with.
So as we expected, it is a top dual lane with Misery and Bone 7, which I feel like is very, very solid. Nightmare into any LSA Dragon Slave combo is pretty good. Although against Black, it's kind of difficult to kill him. He has pounds, and Dark Pact as well, but he will not be getting CS, at least not for a little bit. And they need to pull. Pilot can zone them out effectively. He's one of the best zoning heroes with his Arcane Bolt. But they're pinging on him. They want to go. They want a Nightmare, but they just can't get in range. They can't quite get close enough. That means they will take an Arcane Bolt for their troubles. They do pull the creep wave, and they'll take it back to their tower. The mid matchup is even as it stands right now. That could change drastically in a couple of moments, but it's an all-German affair between Koikfa and Fata. And, oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, and the extra little bit of damage that the Precision Aura gives Sniper is actually pretty huge because despite Sniper being one of the strongest mid laners in the game, his base attack damage is actually quite low. It's not very good early on, but because, like, if you look at right now, without this Precision Aura, he's only got, like, 55 damage at level 3 right now. And there comes the damage. It's level 2. He actually doesn't get level 2 shrapnel. He goes level 2 headshot. That's very strange to me.
Yeah, especially against the range hero. Against the melee hero, I can understand it, but I guess the range hero, you want that extra point in shrapnel, I think, and get the headshot later. But regardless, it actually did a lot of damage, although Koikfa gets the regen rune, so he's pretty happy about that. The thing about Koikfa is that he can't necessarily go back to the jungle and take those jungle camps because there is that Enigma.
Yeah, I still find it very interesting that Sniper went for this build, but we'll see if it pays off. I don't know that it will. Shadow Fiend, he struggles in like these levels, but once he hits level 3 and then especially level 5, it becomes very nice for him.
Well, these raises are on point. Nightmare, Light Striker Raider is going to be the LSA to Dragon Slave. First blood for Misery with a right click. Black trying to get some essence shift procs, and he might actually kill Bone 7. LSA is going to hit. Can Misery get the kill? He's out of mana. The right click will not be enough. Black should survive. Arcane Bolt coming in from Pilot, not doing any damage really to Misery. And Black barely surviving, but they get the return kill, 1-for-1 in the end, I believe.
I'm wondering if Lina if instead of trying to trade auto attacks and giving him more stacks, maybe just try to run around and kite out and wait till the LSA cooldown. He just took a lot of damage in that exchange instead of trying to wait out the cooldowns, so... Yeah, in the end, it's a 1-for-1, but they got the first blood, so I think that's definitely worth it for Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9 making sure, and also they're really stifling Black's farm. 6 CS, that is not the start you're looking for. Although you do have right now Quickfoot doing a very good job in last standing. Obviously, you have a jungle hero, which is really solid for Bulba. He's only up to 3 last hits right now. What about his experience? He's level 3, so this often not going as well as it probably could for the Clockwork. And Bone 7 sitting at level 4 already, plus that kill will assist more than anything else. And it's definitely a good start coming out for Cloud9 here, and they want to have a good start. They need to snowball. They need to take this a little bit early. I don't say they don't have like a huge timer on their backs or anything, but there's a rotation coming in. Way too wrapping around from the side. No wards from Bone 7. Concussive shot's gonna go. LSA misses completely. There's going to be the pounds of the Dark Pact, and Bone 7 is done. Malphus comes out, Brain Sap onto Way 2, but it's not enough damage from Misery to get the kill. And Black gets a much-needed kill to help him get back into this game.
Yeah, good rotation from Enigma, and look at that. Enigma, with even one warded camp, he's up to level 5 at 4 minutes. So I feel like... I really feel like if you're going to go out of your way to try to ward some camps to Enigma, you need to just go full out and not half-assed, because it doesn't really matter blocking one camp. It seems useless to me. I feel like he can still farm just a little bit under his speed with even just one warded camp. I think if you're going to ward the camps, you should ward almost all of them, and then be ready for his rotations after that. But as a result, he's still up to level 5.5, level 5 at 5 minutes. So very, very good for Way 2. He's already transitioned and rotated once. They're pinging out Misery, I think, and he could be in some trouble.
He walks right into the jungle. Brainsap does a lot of damage. Twilight dies. Assassination is coming, and it's going to grab the kill. Nightmare onto an Eidolon. Way 2 did get stifled. He can't chase any further. He did have Soul Ring mana, but he's just not fast enough to catch up to Misery. And that actually turned out pretty well for Cloud9. Fata was pretty nearby, and he was able to assassinate, getting that kill, which not only does he have 32 CS, but now a kill under his belt as well. Pretty solid start for Fata in this mid lane.
Yeah, really nice rotation from him and just getting that extra range for his ult. And this extra damage is really helping him out in mid. Like, I've seen it already happen. He's actually TPing bottom, and they just want to go for a push. This is a preemptive TP. This isn't like I'm reacting to a gank or anything like that, or was it? This seems kind of weird. Now they see him with a ward being shown right there. They're going to walk bottom. Koikva, he's going to pick up a haste rune. So this TP didn't really do anything, unfortunately, for Fata, but he's just going to walk back to the mid lane.
They saw Fata rotate into the enemy jungle, I believe, and they just thought that he was going to be going for the kill, but Fata's like, no, I'm farming camps, man. I can't farm my own jungle. I might as well farm the enemy jungle. And then he walks back up to his own jungle right after that with the haste rune. So, yeah, Koikva's just not sitting in lane right now. Just kind of helping out way too with his jungler being a bit greedy. And Fata TP's down bottom, then walks back mid and wastes like maybe a minute or two. There is a smoke rotation from the supports, No Tail as well as Misery looking for something. They'll throw up an Observer Ward first and foremost, then head to the jungle more than likely. But Koikva has a haste rune. It's going to be tough to find this kill. Nightmare goes right as the magic missile hits, and Koikva assassination is going to fly. Brain Sap, not enough damage. Assassination will bring him low, but not low enough to get the kill. And so an okay rotation does not actually turn into a kill because of that haste rune.
Yep, and give me just a second. I don't think my Dota TV was working, so I'm going to reconnect here real fast.
Drops client. It's rough. Volvo, please. Down bottom, Envy has 6 now, so he's got that extra damage from marksmanship. He also has 2 Wraith Bands, building towards that 3rd, plus agility treads. Bulba takes 2 right clicks, and he's almost at half health. And Envy just is feeling himself right now with 47 CS, 12 denies. Fata the same. Sitting at 47 and 12 as well, and he is having a great time. Mid lane has the Aquila as well. Top lane, 31 last hits for the Lina. And this is, I think, what we expected for this lineup of Cloud9. They have a lot of damage early on, they have a lot of snowball potential, and they're going to get a tier 1 tower out of it in this bottom lane.
Comes the smoke, though, from Enigma.
The wraparound, No Tail's caught out, might be the martyr that they need, and Way Too chasing after Envy, can't find him. The courier is going to fall, looks like, to Way Too, as well as Pylai die. It's a pretty big courier kill. They did not get the deny in the tower. Envy did get that. So it's a courier kill and a hero loss for a tower killed on the side of Cloud9. Interesting trade. TP's up top, though. And nothing's going on up there.
Wait, did they deny the tower?
No, they got it. Envy got
okay.
it.
They kind of panicked with that courier. Like, it was, if he just kept running it towards Envy to deliver his item and then ran it down, it would have been fine. But they like panicked and like it stutter stepped, walked backwards, and then it gave the Skywrath room to attack it. So kind of unfortunate there. It didn't exactly have a lot on it. It had a recipe for Envy for his 3rd Wraith Band, so not a ton, but certainly annoying and good gold for the Dire team.
Yep. So I mean, at this point, if we look at the graphs real quick, there's not much of lead for Cloud9, but it feels like that can start getting a lot bigger here in the next couple of moments when they start maybe pressuring towers together. Experience-wise, Tinker obviously have an experience lead because they have that jungle Enigma, whereas you had 2 supports, although in dual lanes. Cloud9 not as greedy as Tinker in that regard. Koikva up to 54 CS. We have yet to see our first real big item pickup at 9 minutes, which is not a huge surprise. Fata getting caught out. I think hookshot came in from Bulba. Fata's getting low. Shrapnel coming in. Assassination not there. Laguna Blade blows up Bulba, but they got the kill they were looking for. That's probably worth it. Bulba for the life of Fata. They'll take that trade any day of the week, I think.
Yeah, and call me crazy, I'm just not convinced that this sniper build is the way to go. I just think that Shrapnel is so good right now, and that it's not like a 1-point wonder where it's like it's amazing at 1 point, doesn't scale up. Top lane, actually Misery's in a lot of trouble. He gets taken out. That's a killing spree for Black on the Slark, who had not the greatest time to start, but now he's up to 32 CS and 3 kills with the killing spree, so he's recovered nicely. But yeah, it actually scales nicely. Like, it starts off at 15%, goes to 30, so it actually doubles as you level it. The damage, it doubles from level 1 to 2, and then it goes up from there. I just think it's an amazing ability, and it's clearly his best ability. And just, I don't know. I'm not convinced that this is the better build.
He's valuing, first of all, 1 extra point in that headshot, get a bit more damage, 40 damage per headshot proc, and then
that's fine.
He wants that take aim. He wants to be safe. He wants to sit far back and maybe try to avoid a hookshot from Tinker and Clockwork, but it's tough, as there is going to be that smoke of deceit. Can Bulba find Fata. I think they might have spotted him out here in the trees. Hookshot is going to connect. There's going to be the Mystic Flare. Fata is most certainly dead again. And they blow him up within the span of a second. Evaporating would be the term I would use. And poor Fata gets blown up once more. And he's been farming well, but now he gets shut down twice in a row. They're really making it their mission with this clockwork to shut down the sniper as best as possible.
Yep, and they're stacking Ancients, and there's going to be, I think, a 4-stack. So they can clear that with Drow and Vent. That'll be very good for them. But I think I know what his thinking is. I think it's, I want to get the extra range over my Shrapnel because I already have extra damage from the Drow. And that's a valid point, but I still think that Shrapnel is so good. But anyway, they're grouping up top. Venge, unfortunately, isn't level 6 yet, so he doesn't have the swap mechanism to save somebody. Probably won't get it here because he's sharing experience with 3 other heroes. Very, very close.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
Not yet.
Oh, 1 creep would do the job. 1 extra creep. Go get that small camp. Come on, No Tail. It's right there. No. He's just going to walk and get the creep wave instead. All the meanwhile, we kind of haven't talked about it. Koikva has quietly been getting up to 75 CS and looks like he is on the way to his Eul Scepter, as we see many Shadow Fiends do. Mech now done for way 2 as well. Top lane getting pressured. It looks like it will be taken down. This is the problem with a Drow Ranger lineup. You have to try to stop the snowball, this push, but if you fight into it, the damage is absurd, especially with the Mask of Madness for Envy. TP's mid. Black is going to go ahead and just use a Shadow Dance to get out as quickly as possible. Misery's going to chase him down. Gets Fall, cannot Nightmare or Brain Sap. Bottom lane, there are 4 heroes in the vicinity. Hookshot again. Fonta's like, please, can you just leave me alone? Stop. Damn. And they're going to lose the tier 1 tower as well.
Yep, and this is what happens when you... I mean, when you're going to pick up a sniper, and it's just because it's already so popular so people realize this, almost always I see teams ban out either Bat Rider, which was already banned out by Team Tinker themselves in the first phase, or the Clockwork. And we've already seen Clockwork just put in a ton of work on these, on specifically Sniper. Same thing can happen to Envy too if he's in the same position, so... We'll see. They're trying to pressure lanes now. They have a lot of wards covering the side of Tinker's jungle. Here comes a Euls? Is that from Lina? Yeah, Lina's got Euls.
The Eul's already done for Bone 7, so the combo is there if necessary. But they will back away. They're not going to go for that tier 2 tower. Fata is just trying to farm. He's died 3 times in the past, like, 2 minutes. He's going to get... He had such a good start, but he's now only sitting on Treads, Aquila, and a Morbid Mask here with another Wraith Band in tow. Which should be the start of a Mom, but that Mom's not going to really save him, I don't think. I mean, Clockwork has had it in for Fata this game. So I don't know what you buy to stay alive in this situation, but I'm not sure if there's anything that you can go for that'll keep him alive.
Yeah, it's just the nature of playing Sniper against Clock. Or just any hero, any single hero on Cloud9's lineup, without the Venge behind them, will die to a Clockhook. I think by themselves. Maybe Lina can live long enough to Euls or something and then run away, but even then that's cutting it pretty close. There's going to be a smoke into Roshan, actually, it looks like. Okay, no, not into Roshan, just looking for a kill. They have the fresh Euls actually up on Shadow Fiend, so pretty good timing for Koikva. Ward placed on the high ground vision from Pylai Dai in the mid lane. He's going to ding level 8. We'll see if they try to go for something. There's a Haster spawned up top too. Assassinate being done somewhere.
Shrapnel thought about assassinating. They could have flared and maybe hookshot in, but Bulwer was kind of alone. And Black is bottom. Which, by the way, he purchased up a freshly minted Blink Dagger, which is pretty nice. Like, again, we talked about his start wasn't the greatest, and now he's getting up there in terms of farm, but suddenly, again, Cloud9 said it's time to push, it's time to take your tier 2 tower, but Bone 7 getting caught out. Malphite hook shot in, he's in trouble. Swap out by No Tail, Magic Missile, Mystic Flare into No Tail. That's fine to support Martyr, but will they get more out of this? Jumping in, Bone 7, LSA goes, but they blow up. That poor Lina, she melts, she burns up. Fatu will try to TP away, it looks like he will get out. Black could have tried to find him, but 2 for nothing in terms of that trade. And they don't get the tier 2 tower. Just really solid initiation thus far from Team Tinker, although Envy was nowhere near. That's probably for the best at this point.
Okay. I'll have to try to maybe restart again in just a second. But oh, there's the blink actually onto Misery.
Nice Nightmare, but he should still be dead.
Nightmare himself to buy some time, but he needs a Brain Sap. Can't do it.
No Tail coming through. He's also maybe killed himself. Buyback for Misery. Black Hole, it's going to be on to 2. Misery didn't cancel the TP, but the Laguna comes in, and they get the kill on the way 2 as well with the LSA. Bone7 chasing after Bulba. He's very fast. He's got Yules up. Will he go for the kill? Decides against it, and actually turns into a 2 for, well, a 3 for 3 as Misery did buy back. And now they can try to push down mid. Black Hole's on cooldown. Black's not there. Really the only danger is the Yules Requiem combo, which is certainly a big threat. But I think they just let this tier 2 tower go. I don't know if they go for this. And yeah, it looks like this tier 2 will go to Cloud9 and Bone7 and Misery right-clicking it down.
Yeah, and the buyback from Bane really doesn't matter at all. It was a really good buyback from Misery, especially if your supports can afford the buybacks in the early to mid game, and actually get something out of it. It's totally worth it. So not a big deal there. There's a hook actually onto Envy this time of all people. They don't have a swap ready to go. Venge is not in the area yet. Maybe they can defensive sleep or something. Very late on that, but oh, he actually denies him, so it was perfect timed.
Misery, I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it, and he gets it done. That's level 1 Nightmare, by the way. That is impressive.
Yeah, really good stuff. That's huge, actually. That's really huge. And I'm going to try to restart real quick again. I don't know what's wrong, but...
Retoggle it in the... Yeah, well, you know what to do. Anyways. Sitting at 17 minutes into the game, 6-13. Although Cloud9 don't have a kill lead, they do have a tower advantage. It is very even here so far in the net worth. In terms of experience, Tinker have that advantage. And Black is suddenly becoming a force to be reckoned with this Blink Dagger. But more importantly, his Kokifa has not been involved in really any of these fights. Bots is going to get smoke wrapped on here. Concussive shot, jump in, pounce, and wow, do they kill him quickly. Dark Pact plus Ancient Seal is more than enough, followed up by the Mystic Flare, which wasn't even necessary, but they get the kill nonetheless. And just another easy kill coming out onto Fatsa, who he doesn't want it. He wants to survive, man. That's all he wants to do, is he wants to live. And that's not been the case thus far in the game. Envy has a BKB, which he hasn't used yet. He's 1-1-1. Pick split Envy's rune for himself. There's a smoke for No Tail. They stack up the Ancients yet again. And I'm sure Envy will take this and build in towards, who knows, SNY, Manta, something else entirely. He's got a lot of options.
I was going to say before I DC'd there that I was wondering why he was hoarding so much gold, and that would only signify that he's going to go, wow, that's a lot of Blink Daggers picked up. That would only signify him picking up a BKB, which I think is extremely important in this game, so I like that decision by Envy. It's very easy for Drow Rangers, especially in this kind of like Drow mindset where you have to do tons of damage, you have to get the maximum potential of your precision ore up there, so I need to get Yasha, I need to get, you know, Manta or SNY, but he really does need the BKB in order to actually win these fights. There's a nice grip onto the Enigma with the Laguna. Tons of hate going towards the way of Way 2, but it's definitely worth it.
Bodied.
Bodied for sure.
They absolutely decimate that poor Way 2. He's down for 35. So he gets caught out. Hookshot again onto No Tail. Magic Missile's going to go. By the way, there is a Blade Mail for the Clockwork, and he's a DD bottled up. Not even going to use it for that kill. And No Tail's just walking in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that ward spotted him out. I think it did.
Maybe. I think it might have clipped him as he was walking by, yeah. But I was just going to say, they have very good vision on the side of Team Tinker, whereas you look at Cloud9, they have nothing. And I think that's what Venge was trying to do. He's actually trying to walk around and place a ward. He has 2 on him, so... That's the scary thing playing against a Clockwork, when you don't have vision and then trying to get vision. Those are perfect opportunities for the Clockwork to pounce. Speaking of pounce, we'll see if Black can get out of this or get spotted by Bone7. He blinks away. Okay.
They were so close. All they needed to do was check that medium camp, and Black just gets away, no problem. Which, by the way, he's going for a Scotty. Blink Scotty, interesting. I mean, pretty standard, I suppose, as far as item progression goes for a Slark. And
yeah.
He'll head top.
Yep, Scotty will be really good. It's going to be especially good against the BKBs, which do need to come out also for the sniper. And he's got 2,000 gold. Here comes an aggressive smoke this time from Cloud9, or they're going to go for Roshan. The rocket actually scouts out Roshan, so they're going to go for a kill, it looks like.
They're trying to decide where they're going. Do we go up around the secret shop? Do we go straight towards mid? They right-click an illusion for some reason. Envy and Fata actually both coming out of smoke for that. Black swap's gonna go, but he gets the Shadow Dance off. The hook shot in onto Fata again. Goodbye. Gets raised up. No-till already low, and now Cloud9 have to retreat. Now Team Tinker overrunning Cloud9. Misery, goodbye. 3 dead as well. And a really great reaction time from Black as well as Bulba to get their abilities off. Their ultimate Shadow Dance and hook shot. And boy, do they kill heroes fast. 3 heroes dead almost immediately.
That was the worst initiation ever, man. Their initiation was Avenge running in there with Wave and then a slow swap afterwards. I don't understand how that would ever possibly work. It needs to be like a stun setup or an instant grip on someone, kill them immediately, back off. Because their team fight's pretty bad right now against Team Tinker. It really is. Yep. And then I think what they're thinking was, and even if this was the case, was to swap into an instant Fiend script. But there's just so many ways to cancel that Fiend script. So you can't really bank on that. This is going to be an easy Roshan here for Team Tinker. And yeah, that initiation just looked awful, actually.
It wasn't great. We'll put it that way. And that gives Quirk for the Aegis. It gives them Roshan. And despite them losing all of their towers, they have a pretty significant net worth lead at 5,000, and what should be a BKB for Shadow Fiend now coming out and is completed. So lots of defensive utility. Yules, there's a Laguna bottom that I miss completely as Bulba walks up and gets destroyed by Lina. And they needed that kill, but now more map control going the way of Tinker as they pick up a gem also for Pylai Die. This has just been kind of one of those games where Cloud9 have had this really early snowball, but since then, they've been getting shut down by superior team fight and initiation from Tinker. And I really like what they've done, specifically Black and Bulba playing very well on their respective heroes, getting heroes caught out and taking them down within seconds.
You know, it is scary normally when you're in this position with the Drow Ranger lineup because you kind of taper off in the late stages of the game. But I actually don't know because it used to not be this way, but Lina is a powerhouse in the late stages of the game. She really is. And then not to mention, you get 3 stacks on your Fiery Soul. Keep in mind that in the late stages of the game, that Precision Aura is going to bump her up to like plus 75 damage, probably more, 90 damage. And she's going to be hitting so fast, and she's going to be hitting so hard too. So not only is she going to have a pure damage nuke that goes through BKB, but she's going to be auto-attacking for so much damage at a very, very fast rate. So, you know, you look at this lineup and you're thinking that it should be very, very scary for them walking the late game, but I think that Lina and Drow can actually really do some work.
The point is trying to get there if you're Lilina. She has to still pick up that Aghanim Scepter, but she's got to find a hero.
She's getting there.
Red, maybe. And she is getting there, that's true. But, I mean, now this is where Team Tinker are about to hit their stride, is when they pick up these BKBs, which they have one for the Shadow Fiend. I think that's about it. I don't know. Yeah, no one else is building any. Waitsu went for an Atos, which is not super uncommon for Enigmas, but certainly something that I don't see too often. We've seen Bloodstone, we've seen Bots, we've seen Blink, we've seen BKB. Atos is certainly not one of those items that you expect to see on Enigma, but I guess it's built, and it's going to help out for Waitsu.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those games where if you go BKB, yes, it's great to get rid of the stuns, but it's not going to make your black hole completely immune to getting canceled because they have the Venge swap. That being said, they're probably going to be using the Venge swap defensively on their heroes that get initiated by Clock, so he probably could have actually gotten away with a BKB. Here comes a wraparound, very nicely done on a Misery, and that should be an easy kill.
Yeah, he's 100% dead. That's just been the easy combo. The hookshot colleagues into Mystic Flare has gotten so many kills. I mean, you look at Pylai Die, has 10 assists, 3 kills. Clockwork is 6, 2, and 6. So, I mean, yeah, they have had some really good initiations. Black's still working on getting that Scotty, and he is very close. The courier is actually flying out to the secret shop here, and that Scotty should be coming in any moment. That means that some more tankiness, the attack speed slow coming through. And maybe they could be the ones to put on the aggression into Cloud9. It's tough to fight into that lineup because of all the right-click damage, but with the right initiation from, say, Waitsu and Bulba as well as Pylai Die, they can get kills. They can take fights. And it looks like they want this Tier 1 tower top first and foremost, which has been a lot the entire game. Tier 1 finally about to fall, but
They're still going to want to fight and protect bottom. Clockwork's already setting up. He's TP'd very, very early on to the back tower, so that means if someone TP's to this tier 2, that it'll be an instant. There we go. Hook onto Envy.
Envy does have BKB swap out first and foremost, so they will grab a kill onto Big Daddy. And they don't chase further. They know Envy's nearby. Blink further could come and will. Pounce actually doesn't connect Envy. Gotta just TP away. No basher for Black, and they cannot get the kill. That was a long duration TP. Mystic Flare almost took him down. Envy kind of making a mistake by TPing up to that top tier 2 tower. He's lucky he didn't pay with it for his life. Jesus.
Oh my god. Yeah. That that was so close. And it's because he got greedy and wanted to TP and farm as well, which... It would have been fine if Fata didn't already TP up there, and he wouldn't have taken too much damage, and he could have farmed a little bit safer, but that could have been horrible. Oh, man.
Quick point. This is a little bit of a weird dance happening here. Bone7's like, I kind of want to go into Quick Foot, but he has a BKB, so even if I try to jump on him, yeah, I mean, they need another hero nearby. The problem is Bone7's also going to get shadowed by maybe...
Envy?
Ooh, swing and a miss from the Clockwork. Now Quickfoot getting gone on very low, not dead yet. 15 HP will Yules himself to stay alive, but there's the Aegis. Actually gets Yules. The Yules 50 damage from the enemy team kills him and actually makes the Aegis go. That's pretty funny. I thought it was his own Yules, but it was the enemy Yules.
Yeah, I missed all that action. I saw the hook came actually onto or sorry, the Slark was pursuing the Draw Ranger. Almost killed him with a swap out from Venge, actually saved him. So, Big Daddy No Tail has been doing his sacrificial things this game. He's 0-7, but he's pretty much done his job in this game. That's all he really can do is defensive swaps. Hopefully, for his sake, he can hit level 11, so he can be in a little bit better position to do that, where it's much more crucial. But he has been doing, the right things.
I mean, it's just the story of a vengeful spirit, and you go 113 and like 10, that's fine. As long as you've saved your teammates numerous times, then that's all that matters. And Black with the gem, he's the one to be counter-warding. And now, 0 map control at all for Cloud9. No vision whatsoever except for the lanes pushing out and the heroes in the map. They have, as you can see, very, very, very minimal vision. Butterfly now done for Drow Ranger. That is a pretty big pickup. That provides the agility to give the extra damage. Precision Aura also has the evasion, which they desperately need up against Black and against Koikfa. But is Envy going to be big enough this game to deal with all of Tinker's lineup? And that's something we have yet to answer, as we're only 28 minutes into this game, and honestly, it could swing either way. Although it is looking very good for Tinker, as they have a 7500 net worth lead. This game is still in its infancy, I'd say.
Well, the big thing is that they got a 15,000 experience lead. It's just massive. I mean, you look at the level of Shadow Fiend. He's level 19, man. It's just absolutely insane. He's gonna have what looks like an MKB actually, and just 10 gold right now if he wants it, which is, I mean, a direct counter to what Envy just picked up, which is that butterfly.
Envy had the Eagle Song on him for the longest time, so I'm sure Koikfa saw that and decided that MKB would have been the smartest option right after. And I think that's a really, really solid play from Koikfa. So Envy, that butterfly will give you that extra agility, but it's not going to help out when it comes to evasion, at least against Koikfa. And they're going to go for the tier 2 tower down in this bottom lane. Suddenly, Team Tinker are the ones putting the pressure on the towers. The MKB is finally done, actually. I say finally, but we just saw it. Enigma gets the kill on the Eidolons. Everyone else is top for Cloud9. Misery and Big Daddy No Tail hugging each other in the trees. Misery does have a Blank Dagger, so he's been having a pretty good game, but this is close, and Tinker are doing extraordinarily well for a team that a lot of people had questions about.
Yeah, absolutely. They just have a nice draft against like this sniper in particular. Like when the Venge isn't around, the shields that get hooked, they have no way to save themselves. BKB will kind of buy them some time, but it's not going to get them out of the cogs. They have to actually attack the cogs and run away. But you imagine that someone else is going to be there to follow up on the hook. And there has been this entire game. It's been Paladin and Skywrath with that Mystic Flare every single time almost.
Yep. Very coordinated effort from Team Tinker so far. 30 minutes into the game, Black, what is he getting? 3,000 gold. What is your choice for a Slark now? Do you
Probably
go for
Bash.
Basher? Yeah.
Basher or BKB.
That'd make the most sense. Lock heroes down. Heroes, especially with BKBs, Basher's definitely the way to go. They sneak Roche real quick. Well, I should say they just take it as there's no worth in that to cover Roshan. TP1 back up to the top lane as Bone 7 and Misery are sitting very far in the trees. And it is that bash for Quakefa. Or for Black, excuse me. Getting my Germans confused.
Well, the other German, Quakefa, picks up the Aegis. Already has over 2,000 gold, just bought the MKB minutes ago. So yeah, things are looking very, very good. Now you can't count out Cloud9 because they're, like I said, their actual damage is amazing. If they can isolate a hero, they're dead. There's a rocket that goes up to No Tail up top, and oh boy, he's just trying to hide and buy some time. Nope, he gets picked off. He's still level 9. Not good for him.
That's not but the easiest Vengeful Spirit game in the world. He does have an iron, so at least he's got that going for himself, and Tranquils, but Misery continues to stay top, and instead of pushing to that top tier 2 tower, it looks like everyone wants mid for Team Tinker at this point. Who can blame them? They have such a wide lead. They have the Aegis as well. They have Quakefa with an MKB. He even has 3,000 extra gold, for God's sakes. I don't know what he needs. Maybe a Helm of the Dominator starting to a Satanic is an option. Has he sold? He hasn't sold anything yet, I don't believe. No. Destination's gonna go kaboom. Quakefa takes a bit of damage. And that goes. Oh, there's the big item though for Bone 7. This is what they need. Is that Aghanim Scepter to go through BKB to make the damage pure. And that is 675 pure damage, and if he can get to level 16, it's 950. So
it might be one of the reasons why why Black went for the Basher over the BKB, because he figures Lena's gonna go for the Ag Scepter anyway. It's still gonna pierce through my BKB, so the best I can do is maybe save myself from a Nightmare or a stun from Venge or something, or the Yule's combo, I guess, from Lena. But you can always Dark Pact that if you have it up and ready to go. Lena actually, well, one of the interesting things to note is that he didn't put any more points into Fiery Soul after level 1. That seems very strange to me. So he's only got level 1 Fiery Soul.
That's a lot of right click you're foregoing right now.
Especially coupled with the extra 70 damage that Precision Ore is giving you.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. There's some interesting skill build, or skill item, or skill choices, I should say, Cloud9 in this game.
Well, at least Cyber did max out the Shrapnel. He maxed out everything else as well, so...
I sure would hope so at level 15, but then again...
Who knows? He also has a Chrysalis, by the way, and a BKB, which kind of expected, but... Again, is the BKB going to be enough? And I'm not so sure. It's going to be a tough game for Cloud9, but they're making all the right choices, with maybe the exception of that Fiery Soul skill build. They're actually doing a very good job of split pushing. Bone 7 in the tree line. I don't know if he's nearby. I think they flared up in the trees, but nah, they're searching everywhere. Bulba's just searching as much as he possibly can to try to find somebody, and so far no such luck. He is very close to Aghanim Scepter, about 700 gold, and then he'll have it.
Yeah, Bone 7 just cutting the creep wave here. Just gonna blink out, TP out. Oh, they get the rocket. They couldn't get the hook because he went in the other direction. So nice cheeky little plays from Bone 7. He actually uses the hook anyway. Try to find him, make a big play, but doesn't find him. So those little small plays are actually pretty important. It buys them enough time, because if Cloud9 actually take a straight up fight with all 5 members ready to go, like defending the base, I don't think Team Tinker can push into it. The only way they can push into it is actually getting a pick before they go into the base. And I don't even think 1 pick is enough. I think they have to kill like 2 heroes before they actually push into high ground. Pushing into a sniper who has extra 70 damage and a Laguna Blade that's, what, 900 range with Scepter, it's very difficult to do so.
I mean, 1 hero is going to get blown up, that's for damn sure, if not more. The Team Tinker, they're taking this very slow, very methodically, and I don't blame them. Do they have that Aegis still? Yes. For how long? About a minute for a Quakefa. Maybe less. And they have to decide what they're going to do here in the next couple of moments. He has 3,000 gold. He's not bought anything, at least. Is there anything on the courier? Yeah, it's a butterfly. Well, the beginnings of a butterfly for Quakefa, as he's very close, 200 gold away. Will he save for buyback? I think he probably could. They're looking to try to initiate here under the tier 2 tower. Fata, he's baiting, and No Tail's right behind him to hook him or to swap him out. I'm surprised that Boba has not initiated. But instead, they're waiting currently. They really want this Aghanim Scepter. Now the smoke from Cloud9, and they fight into this. They're going to head up north, and they're going to look for Pilot Eye. That's a small consolation prize. They actually find Black instead. Laguna Blade goes. They're going to try to blow up one. Meanwhile, Hookshot comes in, and it's going to be onto one. Black Hole onto three from way two. Where's the damage? Bone 7 getting low. BKB's pops. Fata about to fall. They will get Envy out in time. Bone 7 blinks up onto the high ground. The flare will go. He's so low, they can't get the kill. But they do get the big target in Fata. And maybe now they can push the high ground. They also got Misery as well on the backside. Way two with a huge blink Black Hole coming in at 36 minutes into the game.
Really nice play by Enigma there. Catching three heroes like that in a very weird position too. Unfortunately, it took him a long time to kill that Skywrath. He used the ulti and he was auto-attacking for a good 5 seconds after that. And that extra chasing time just bought Team Tinker enough time to find the right position to go, and way too capitalized on it. So not having enough damage. Was Lena level 16 before he casted ultimate?
I'm not sure.
His Laguna Blade's cooling down now. It would have been it's so close to the cooldown between 60 seconds and 50, so I don't know. It just didn't. I think it was level 2. I could be wrong though.
I mean, I feel like it would have. I mean, Pilot Eye has 929 HP. If that was level 3, he is dead with one Laguna.
You're right. Yeah.
So, oh boy, Abyssal and BKB coming out for the Slark and Enigma respectively. That is something else. And now Quick with the Butterfly and 2,000 gold as well. And Hookshot out into Bone 7, and he's done so. They also grab a kill onto Misery up at the top lane with Quakefa. 2 quick kills and a gem dropped somewhere by somebody. And Black is pinging it out. He has his own gem. That was the gem on Misery, I believe. Ooh, the Radiant Courier is going to grab it. Nice little behind the lines mission. Fata bashed up.
He's dead.
Abyssal. He's already used it. No, he uses it now. Fata falls. He does have buyback. Bottom lane initiation. Boba hookshot again. Envy's going to try to get his way out of here. He'll BKB TP. Looks like he will make it out. No Tail will not be so lucky. The base now under siege by Black. And Koikfa's going to walk in as well with presence of the Dark Lord. They'll be able to take this down pretty quick, it looks like. Maybe need some buybacks coming up from Fata, but so far, Cloud9, they're collapsing. They're crumbling even.
They're going to buy back right now.
Exposed. Buyback should be coming soon. Misery back into the fray. Melee racks, no glyph available, was already used. They're going to turn their attention towards the range racks. A full set of racks gone for Cloud9. And Team Tinker, they don't seem to be done yet. Misery looking for Koikfa. Jump in. Eulceptor's going to fly. There's the pounce up. Misery gets hooked up. He's going to fall. Envy. Laguna Blade on Koikfa pops the BKB. Bone 7 so low. Has to heals himself. Now the raise goes. GG is called. Team Tinker overrunning the base of Cloud9. And Tinker take the game over Cloud9. Game 1 going to the Dire squad in impressive fashion. Great draft and great play coming out from the new and improved Team Tinker squad.
Yeah, I really like their draft. It is very standard, so to speak. Like, this is what a lot of teams are doing now. Jungle Enigma, Shadow Fiend in mid. Clockwork is very popular now in the metagame. Not only is Clockwork popular in general, but against what Team Tinker had, with just no heroes to save anybody until the Venge had swap. And Venge already hit a very late level 6. We saw him up top trying to get it at like minute 12 or something like that. So it wasn't even until then that he had the capabilities to swap, and still after that he has to be in position to do so. And even when he is swapping, it's just all it's doing is giving them still his life. Like, they're still not getting anything out of it. And the big thing, though, was that Fata, who had a great time, just died way too many times. He got picked off a lot by Clockwork. Whether that's his misplay by walking in bad positions, or them not having vision of the Clockwork, or just the draft in general. But, you know, the combination of all those things made it so it was a very easy victory for Team Tinker.
Yep, those hookshots definitely set the tone of the game, with Boba hitting a couple of them early on in the game, and Fata not able to snowball as hard as he would have liked to, but there still is a second game. Cloud9 looking to even up the series, and Team Tinker looking at 2-0 as we will jump into game number 2 in just a second. Again, thank you so much for joining us here Cast brought to you by HighGroundTV, production from, of course, Pimp Muckle. You can follow him at Pimp Muckle. We have mod packs and stats. Check him out at mod packs. Of course, Trough at Trough Dota, and myself at Mott Dota. With that being said, game number 2 coming up in just a hot minute, guys. Stick around. We'll be right back.